starting with the warm-ups. I want to tell you that I hear your passion as you walk in for the maths, and I really, really appreciate it. I hear you discussing the homework and the problems and how hard some of them were and how old some of them were, and I love it. I will take that over people that don't care any day. Okay, number 6. I'm on the warm-ups. Number 6. Okay, what is the least common denominator? 3 is a factor, but not a multiple. What do they all go into? 18, yes. Okay, now let's say you're doing a problem like this and you multiply it all by 3 on accident. Some of the fractions would cancel and some wouldn't. You'd have to multiply again. No big deal. Okay, times 18, times 18, times 18, times 18. What is 19 times 18? Okay, so I have 18 and 18 times 1 is 18 over 3. 18 times 19 is 342. I just did it on the calculator. I'm not smart. Minus 18 times 5 is 90 over 6. And then don't forget the n. 6th period, when I teach this class, though, I look like a wizard. Because I'm like, oh, 18 times 19 is 342. They're like, oh my, how did she? And I'm like, I just remember it from 3rd period. But we don't tell them. Just make me look like a wizard. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to divide 18n minus 6. 342 divided by 9. Nice. 38 minus something. 15. Okay, now I'm going to start with the lowest that has a letter and undo that first. I was thinking about why I do that earlier today, and I think it's because I want the numbers to be positive as much as possible. Should I be shocked that there's a fraction answer? No, absolutely not. No. As a matter of fact, I get really excited when they're whole number answers because that's really rare for these problems. Fractions are the norm, sadly. Okay, number 8. What multiplies to be 18? 9 and 2, 6 and 3. Yeah. 3 and 3. Okay, circle 1, 3, cancel. Yeah. 3 root 2. I didn't understand the freshman math, but I figured it out. Well, you actually use it in math 2. You don't use it in math 1. We just sort of teach it to you so you know. I was absent in freshman year when you taught it, and then I was absent when Mr. Guinan taught it last year. Okay, can you guys flip to the domain and range page, please? Yeah, we don't know what functions are. Oh, well, actually, we're doing notes on that today. Okay. So hold that thought, and then if you still don't know what they are after today, then. We were on FaceTime last week. You're so cute. Okay. So number 3. All right. So domain is x's. Just want to remind you from yesterday. What kind of x's exists on this picture? Everything. So what I like to do, I'll kind of go to the origin. I'll be like, oh, it's going to go forever this way. It's going to end up going forever this way. You can tell by the arrows. So the domain, it's all real numbers, beautiful. Okay. What about the range? Nice. So you're seeing it goes forever up. Everything's covered. In this section, goes forever down. Everything's covered in this section. All real numbers. Okay, so is it a function? For Violet, because I love her, I'm going to slow down and do the vertical line test in a slower fashion. I went a little nuts there yesterday. It was. Okay. I've had just as much caffeine as I did yesterday, but I'm going to deliberately slow down. Okay, so I'm going to draw a vertical line on here, and I'm going to pause and notice that it only hit one time. And then I'm going to draw another vertical line, and I'm going to pause and notice that one only hit one time. So I can still keep going. Okay, still good. Still good. Still good. Do you see what I'm doing? Does it make more sense now? Okay. Mrs. Talbot just needs to uncaffeinate a smidgy. Now, there might be some advanced people in the room who are not wanting to ask the question, but are considering the fact that those arrows look like they might go vertical at some point, and they are not going to. If that is your concern, they will go diagonal forever, just very sweetly. Okay, now, number 4. Okay, see if we got this. What kind of X's are there in this one? Everything. Nice. The hardest part about this one for me is switching out the pens. Okay, the range, however, is 3. Oh man, you said you don't get it. I get it. Okay, but now let's see. Is it a function? Yeah. I see improvement from yesterday. I'll take it. Okay, next, can you please find your homework from last night? Okay, I am not going to spend all day on this by any means, but I will take a few questions if there's anything that's absolutely burning in your mind. Yes, Sean. I can't teach you the quadratic formula right now. I can give you the quadratic formula and tell you what to plug in. But did you struggle with the simplifying part of it? Because that's the hardest part. Where did you get to? Let me ask you this. Because that's like a whole day, No. 16? And let me see if I can try to do it as fast as possible. So x equals negative b or minus square root b squared minus 4ac. Here's why I don't want to spend a huge amount of time on it, because that's not on your quiz tomorrow, but it is important. Okay, you got that far? Does that make sense so far? Okay, then inside here, what I like to do, I like to ignore the square root and just do the math in here. So this is 100 plus 136. So your first mistake might have been here, because if you didn't square that, make it a positive, that would have been wrong. And if you didn't make those two negatives into a positive, that would have been wrong. Those are both really common mistakes. Okay, so now we have 10 plus or minus 236. And then you have to do the break the twins out of jail for the 236 and reduce. Do you know what I mean by that? Like the factor tree, like. Yeah. So it would be wrong if you put that in quotient and solve for x instead of doing it depends on the instructions of the problem. Typically, we do not want decimal answers for these. Sometimes, though, we do, because if you're going to graph it, this doesn't make any sense. So the directions should be more clear, to be honest, and say leave in simplified radical form. This one does not. However, I would hope that you could match your answer with the answer sheet. Okay, now here, this is really important. Last thing about quadratic formula, this is reducible because these three numbers are all even, and they all need to be reduced at the same time or not at all. Where's our 14? You missed number 14? Okay. Okay, so common mistakes are squaring a negative makes it positive, multiplying two negatives makes it positive, breaking the twins out of jail, some of you guys are still working on that, and then when you reduce, you have to reduce all three of those or none of those. They all have to be reduced at once. Okay. But we're gonna do lots of that, so it's not my concern at the moment. If you had trouble with 17 and 18, we're actually going over that today in today's notes. So hopefully I'll fix that for you. Anything else you want to talk about from this homework? Okay, can you just shift this off to the side and grab your notebook, please? And also get a calculator out. Yeah.
I ordered someone. Ooh, that was all my surprise. I wasn't even trying. So I'm like going within 3 of the classes the same college notebook.
I stole my stepson a notebook out of the teacher's lounge yesterday. Makes me feel any better. I was like, nobody saw me put that in my bag.
I'm so bad because I bought all my notebooks.
All right, you guys, set your notebook up to look like mine, please. Mine is right underneath.
I wish they could send us a list
The problem number 13. Anyway, if you can see my punching machine from yesterday right above this, so I just continued on that same paper. This should fit right below where what you did yesterday with the input output stuff. Okay. This is your first math 3 thing. No. This word says type. If it looks weird to you, that's type. Okay, everybody. So the first thing we're going to do is make a table using our calculator. We're going to actually put the numbers in for x. So right here, I'm going to write 3 square root -6 plus 5 plus 2 on the outside. Okay, so we need to figure out where the square root is. If you have not used this calculator before, it is located right above the x squared button. And to get to it, you have to hit second. So everything on the above the buttons, you have to hit second first. Okay, so let's practice doing that. We need to make sure we know how to type in a square root. So 3 second x squared second x squared. Okay, then you want to type a negative. This is the negative down here at the bottom. This is subtraction, but this is the negative down here at the bottom. So you'll notice the negative is like smaller and shorter. -6 plus 5. Correct. Okay. Now you're going to use the arrow key to arrow out of that and put +2 on the outside of the square root. And it's going to give you a really unsatisfying response. Yeah, it's not possible. Okay, and I did this on purpose. It's an error. That's because it's trying to square root -1. It's got an I in it. And we're not going to graph things with I in Math 3. So we're going to put error. And I did this on purpose. I wanted you to see where you can actually start getting points on this graph. So I wanted you to see one that doesn't work. That means that the domain is not all real numbers. Oh, no. Okay. So now what I want you guys to do is continue on doing this. Okay, now I'm going to show you something super cool about this calculator. First, if you got this screen, you can hit 1 or 2. It doesn't matter. Okay. Are you watching? This is going to change your life. Okay. Use the arrow key and scroll up so that the previous problem is highlighted. Then hit enter, and that's a copy paste function. Because we are just the laziest people ever, we can scroll back into it and change it to a 5. Oh man. I didn't have you last year. Okay, so I got 2. Scroll up, change it to a 4. Scroll with the arrow pad until you have what you want to copy and then hit enter. What? Then hit enter. Okay. In your groups, I want you to finish the rest of the table, please. Do it. You can do it. Decimals are fine. Yes, I'm going to write 6.2 for -3.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, now when you get to 0, you're going to be like, oh, I have that negative there that's hanging out that I don't need anymore. This little button here that's DEL is delete. Just delete that, then change your 1 to a 0. It is. It's kind of, it's half of a problem. Okay. And then once you get your table situated, I want you to graph those coordinates as best you can.
Wait, how do you know them all already? I hate you.
That's because you have the 2 inside. The 2's outside.
Oh, you put it. You're silly goose.
This is how you found my seat.
I'm the smart one. Yeah, that's a smart one.
Oh, poor things. They stopped to say hi yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. They're so cute.
Oh, there's 2 7.2s. Oh, so it is a parabola. Okay, so when the x is negative, then there's no y. You do the arrow to the right. So when it's -5, then it's 2. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 6, 7. For -5, I got 2. Well, yeah. Okay, then -4. 3, 4, 5.
Just put it for 6.2.
Okay, guys, are you trying to see this or what? Look at all that good work,
Oh, kind of close now.
right? Am I right, Sebastian?
Yep.
Am I right? All right, it's fine. No, I don't liars anymore.
I'm sorry, I was so.
Bigger, better, more absorbent.
This is an excellent point. So these have a very specific start. This has a vocab word. It's called the endpoint. Endpoint. Okay, and the endpoint is the point where you can actually start graphing. Okay, now what I really want to make sure that you know is that you don't need to guess and check the endpoint. I want you guys to look under the square root. That's called the argument. The argument is whatever's on inside a grouping symbol. So underneath the square root is x plus 5. What number would make that 0? -5. So that's where you know where you can start. It's like zero product property when you guys switch the sign, it's the same thing. So that's going to be the first value that will not give you an error. And you're going to need this because tomorrow you're going to make a poster in your groups of one of these that I assign you. You're going to use your notes and look back at this, make a table, make a graph, describe it. And you're going to need to know which one to start with because it's going to be the first one that's not going to give you an error. Okay, so for those of us that like a formula, what I would say, I would make a little note here and be like, x plus 5 equals 0, minus 5, x equals -5. That's how I know my table is going to actually start giving me answers at -5. Okay. The type of this is called a square root graph. The shape, notice I left some space. It's half a parabola on its side. Half a parabola on its side. Okay, now the domain and range are great for these, especially if we're working on domain and range, we're learning domain and range. You can get it straight off of your table once you figure out where your endpoint's going to be. My domain is everything above and including -5. So x is greater than or equal to -5. And then I'm gonna circle this. And then my range is this column, it's everything above and equal to 2. So your endpoint is going to also be the same thing as your domain and range. Okay, now, if you are the type of student who every single year forgets which symbol is greater than and which is less than, I have provided these lovely crocodiles to remind you throughout the year, so that you can always reference these here crocodiles. Yes, dear.
Question.
Yes.
When I plugged in these square root 1 plus 3, I got 8.
It's closed, sorry.
Like it's my combination.
It's let me look at it later. Okay. Everybody's situated with this. So we need to do the functions notes next. And then I'll hopefully have time for you to work on your quiz review, which is importante. Okay, functions notes time. Start with this. Oh, this is the 14th, by the way. I want to do these today so that we have more time to make sure you're situated for your quiz tomorrow. Did you figure it out? Do you want me to look at it? Okay, mentally prepare. These notes are not short. Mental preparation. This is a type of notes where it's gonna take you longer to write this part down than it is to do the actual problem. Because after this, we need to do some function machine stuff.
6.5.
There's negative 6, 9. Is that the one? Negative 6, 7.
Oh, poor Miss I don't know what she's saying.
I was just reading you the table.
You're so cute. What? I made like cuteness overload. You're the whole squish. Everyone needs to see.
By the way, that graph does not need to be perfectly like mine, just something that looks like that. Yeah, just a little the V-shaped dealio on the side. Sideways V-shaped dealio. Okay, here we go. Function definition. It's a real definition. It's not like passes a vertical line test. Like that's not what I mean. Okay, a function is an equation, table, or graph where there are no inputs, which are the x's, that have two different outputs, or the y's. A function is an equation, table, or graph where there are no x's that have two different y's. Okay, now that you have that information, that reminder from 2 years ago, look at the table. Can you see one of the x's has two different y's? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes it not a function. So what we do is we circle these ones. These ones are the violators. That pen is dying. Okay. And we say, no, -6 has two different outputs. Yeah, -6, 9 and -6, 7. Did I miss something? What? I have something on me or something?
No.
You guys are making me paranoid. What did I do? I don't know what you're doing. Okay, not you, I meant Sean.
What's he doing?
That's slightly inappropriate, Sean. I don't know what you're doing. Killing me, Sean. Okay. Graph. This one is where we're going to do the vertical line test. So I'm going to do just one because I only need one to show that it doesn't work. Not a function. Beautiful. I don't know what's happening with these pens.
like using my highlighter. It makes my notes prettier.
Hmm.
This is not that.
Oh,
Okay. Now, switching topics, but kind of not.
functional
Function machines is next. There's 3 types. And all 3 types are on the chapter 1 test for math 3. The very last problem, there's a forward one, there's a stacked one, and there's a backward one. So you need to make sure you know how to do all 3 of these. And they're not hard, it's just like, you just need to know what to do exactly. I'm gonna move it down, don't worry, I just trying to give people enough time.
forward stack.
Forward, stacked, backward. I am? I mean, that would be cool if I knew it. Learning languages is not a strength.
I like drawing functional machines though.
I don't know about you guys, but I am really feeling the absence of block days.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like I move a little bit slower on block days. Are you? You gonna leave me for your mom every day though? Like Quincy?
I should find that.
That's.
You know, he's so scary, but I think like. He likes me. He was like yapping up to me. Yeah, no, he was like, well, he's like, that would be one stuff where we had any. Wait, why are the classes getting? Really? No, especially I learned it out of Easter eggs now. I didn't know. No. No, I hate, yeah. It's such a bitch, though. Like, I would ask him, like, I like to really bad when he started out with his D. And I went to him, he's like, yeah, I went to his access center, girl, and he retake it, but I got a D. And he was like, you got a D? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, that's passing. that's literally passing, you don't need to retake it. And he's like trying to get, yeah, he's like trying not to get me to retake it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, he's like, not good. Like, yes, I was like trying to retake the test. He does retake. And he's like, why would you retake it? It's just a B, you didn't fail it. I know, I was like, that's like,
He encouraged you.
I hate him though.
Okay, you guys, let's do these real quick.
Yeah.
And then I'll stamp everybody else while you're working. So these are meant to be quick. They're longer to set up than anything else. Okay. Forward function machine says take -3 and plug it in everywhere there's an X. So down here, I'm going to put f of -3 equals 2 times -3 squared minus -3. Be really careful, put parentheses in everywhere. And this is actually funny. One of the things we were working on in Math 1 today, we really want to make sure that you do the exponent first, then times. Really important. So I'm actually going to write it. I'm going to write 2 times 9 plus 3. I want you to see where that came from. Do you guys have calculators? Yes, but I want you to see where that came from. So 18 plus 3 is 21. So the answer is 21. Okay, good so far? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to do stacked function machine. So that means that we're going to put it in the first one, and then our output's going to drop into the next one. Okay, so I'm going to do this over here. So f of 8 equals the cube root of 8 plus 9. What is the cube root of 8? Okay, does it help if I tell you that 8 is 2 times 2 times 2? Yes. Okay, so cube root of 8 is 2 plus 9, which is 11. Okay, and then put that 11 right here, and then your 11 becomes your input for your next machine. Okay, and when the absolute value is here and there's a negative outside, the answer is -11. Okay, now I want to pause here real quick. Notice this notation I use. This is called composition notation, and it's fancy. It's got G of F of H. And that looks really fancy, but all it means is that I started my very original problem with an 8. I put that into F, and then I dropped that answer into G. So kind of like start in the inner parentheses and move out. So I started with an 8, I put it into F, and then I dropped the answer into G. Like that. So when you see that double parenthesis, just know it's a stacked function. Okay, and then the last type is the backward function machine. This one, notice it's got the output and it's asking for the input. So what I do is I take the 1 and I put it in the place of f of x entirely. So it's 1 equals square root x minus 5. You don't plug it in for x, you plug it in for f of x. This was actually the last problem on your Math 1 and 2 review worksheet. Like not this exact one, but this is what you were supposed to do. Okay, plus 5, 6 equals square root of x. And then square both sides to get rid of the square root. 36 equals x. So x was 36. And then see if that makes sense. So square root of 36 is 6 minus 5 is 1. Yeah. Okay, so now you have examples of all 3 types of function machines. Okay, now, last thing, I want to look at the Google Classroom post together, and I want you guys to find tonight's homework in your packet, please.
No.
Oh, no.
What the heck? I can't do this on a calculator.
Let's go. Let's get it done.
Wait, oh, my calculator. Yeah, because now I have a couple of the
So nothing this much.
Okay. I want you
It's
to,
kind of bad.
I mean, it's not bad, I promise you. I had to do it myself, 4 versions of stuff. Okay,
We're gonna have the whole period.
this is my Google Classroom notes from yesterday. Put it up again. First grade is tomorrow, no notes in calculator. I want to see what you have in there, in your grade, without anything. All by yourself, you with your pencil. This will be the last time I stop. Okay, we have 3 questions. One of them is factor. You should expect that. The first 6 problems on this review are factoring. Notice though, this no number 5 is asking you to divide 320 by 5 in your head with no calculator. I did not make the numbers that bad on the quiz, I promise you. They're not that bad,
Okay.
really, I promise. This one, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that was a little mean, no calculator, but whatever. My youngest kid sent me a TikTok of a 3-year-old doing long division on a whiteboard, so I, stopped feeling sorry for that. Seriously, so cute, adorable little 3-year-old. He's like, now 8 goes into 45 times. And he's like, well, so cute. Anyway, okay. Drafting a line, finding the x and y intercepts, and rewriting from standard to slope intercepts. So that would be number 7, 8, 9, and 10 from this worksheet. And then solving a 1 variable equation for the last problem, and that's like problems 11 through 14, just regular old equations. It will not be fractionless, it's just regular style. Okay, does that make sense? Yes. Just 3 questions. One of each of those. This is just a I will take questions from this tomorrow before we take this. And so I would like you to start working on it now, and I'm going to come around and stamp as many people as I can. So if you could have, when I come over to you, if you could open up to your math 1 and 2 worksheet, and also if you finish your digital escape, that would be great.
I don't know if that was kind of comfortable.
Are you ready?